Hey guys, Richard Heiney here. How's it going today? Yeah, I know, I'm alive. Crazy stuff, huh? Well, you see, a lot has happened, so I didn't really had the time to really put up the videos the way I wanted to. Let's see, there was a birthday party of a really good friend of mine. There was a little bit of traveling and pretty big chunk of work I had to take care of. So sorry. Yeah. But anyways, here's what I wanted to cover in this video. You see, a big thing in Japanese, or rather, a very interesting thing that's in Japanese language is that you have multiple words for I, okay, or me. So let's go through some of them right now. The first one is you probably already know watashi, right? That's like the most basic one. It just means I, you. It's pretty polite. You can use it in both polite or casual conversations. Uh, it's pretty neutral. So I'm not going to pay too much attention to that one. Let's move on to the more interesting ones. We're going to start at the most casual ones and move ourselves up to the most polite one. So the first and pretty, if you watch any Japanese drama, anime, whatever, you probably know this one. Ore. Let's hear it from the native speaker.
俺、おれ、俺。
Alright, so that's ore. What's this? What's this one about? This means I or me, as all the other ones, but it's really masculine and really informal. Alright, you don't use it in a polite conversation. You just don't. When you go to 7-Eleven, buy a tea or whatever it is, you just don't use ore. Okay? You meet a stranger in a bar. Well, maybe after a few beers, it's okay to use ore, but not when you first kind of start the conversation. Just maybe gangsters or thugs might do that, but not in normal world world for normal people. You just don't do that. Now, what is important to remember about this one, it's very masculine. All right, so it's really not suitable for women. Even when you want to kind of sound more masculine, more tough, you just wouldn't use it if you're a woman, right? If you're a guy, yeah, sure, it's not a big deal. Definitely go for it. No problem there. Here's the female version of the feminine version of the same exact word, basically. Let's hear it from the native speaker.
あたし、あたし、あたし。
So there you go, atashi. It's the same exact thing as ore, except you would only use it only if you're a girl, right? And ore only if you're a guy. Okay, I can't emphasize it enough. It's just it would be very awkward and weird if the opposite gender would use these words. It's just really strange. If you have any gender-based words different things are said by men and women in your language, then you kind of probably on some level understand what I mean. If like in English, you don't really have that there. It might be a difficult concept to grasp, but just remember it, and I'm sure it will start making sense soon enough. Next one is a kind of a curious one, one that you don't encounter very often. Let's hear it from the native speaker.
わし、わし、わし。
Alright, there you go, washi. Now, the first time I heard it, I believe it was in anime, like maybe Naruto or something like that. I don't really remember. But I always noticed that only old people were using this word. And when I looked it up in textbooks, sure enough, that's exactly what was written there. It's how old people talk. Now, I don't believe women use this one. It's mostly for guys, but I'm not 100% on that one, okay? However, what I'm 100% on is that it's not used by old people. It's a little bit incorrect what's written in textbooks. You see, I met this guy one time in Japan, and he's about 30. At the time, he was like 31 or something. I don't really remember, and he was using washi. And it really confused me because I thought when you're like, 60 plus, 70, 80, 90, then you would use washi and it would be like kind of normal. But apparently not. He was 31, right? That's just, to me, that's not old. I was confused by this, as you can imagine, and I looked to, inquired a few people about this, and the reply I got was from this Japanese teacher of Japanese language and history, and he explained to me that it's not really for language of old people. It's really a language of countryside people, people that come from countryside, so like really small, really small towns and stuff like that. Which is why if you go to like Tokyo or Osaka, a really big city, right? If you go there, you don't really hear people use these words. You just don't, right? I heard this word. I was in small town, so and there it was pretty commonly used. So I was like, something goes going on here. Like this is not what I've learned about this word. So there you have it. It's more of a countryside thing, and it doesn't really have to do with the person age. Okay, so that's about it for this one. All right, the next one is more polite. Okay, we were talking about the same level of politeness as watashi. Okay, let's hear it from the native speaker.
僕、僕、僕。
All right, there you have boku. This one is more masculine, so more guys use it than girls. However, there are some cases where a woman might choose to use boku, and it's usually when she wants to sound more tough. This would be more typical for kind of tomboyish girls, right? The girl that's kind of more more guyish. I don't really have a better word for it, right? That's when you could use it. It's not super weird, but it is a little bit uncommon. But I don't really recommend using it if you're a girl. Only if you're like, if you like box and you're really masculine kind of a girl, then it's okay. But if you're a girl, I wouldn't use it in a polite conversation. If you're a guy, you can use it in polite conversation because in its nature, it's a polite word. All right, so there's no problem with that. Now let's hit the final one. Let's hear from the native speaker.
私、わ、た、く、し、私。
All right, watashi. Now this is an interesting word. This is the most polite word for I. Okay, and I don't think I've heard it really in real life. I haven't really heard this word, but I did see it in TV, and I think it was Prime Minister giving a speech. So when would you use this word? This word would be used when you really want to be really, really humble, when you're speaking the most polite level Japanese, obviously, and so you as a foreigner studying Japanese, I don't think you would really need it unless maybe you would be working in Japan. Some job, some position might require that, but I'm not 100% on that one. Regardless, where can you hear it? I would say in TV, where somebody really important is giving a speech to people. That would make sense. And other than that, you would often hear it in anime. Anime is very interesting that it's very there's always a character for each type of a speech patterns in Japanese. There's the guy who always speaks very very vulgar, very outgoing, casual, impolite, totally impolite Japanese, right? And then there would be like that one girl that's like super polite and everything's real proper. She's like a real lady. So that would be the kind of a character who would use watashi. Other than that, I haven't really seen it in Japanese drama or anywhere, so it's a bit of a rarity. It is there, it is used, but not just as commonly for normal people, not as commonly used as some of the other ones. So that's pretty much it. That's all I have for you today, and I'm looking forward to making another video. I'm thinking sentence ending particles because that's another interesting thing that most languages don't really have. So we're gonna probably make a video about that. However, if you have any suggestions, something specific you would like to learn, feel free to leave a comment below. If you're watching this anywhere else than my blog, I'll leave a link in the description. Go check it out. I have some stuff you can download there to help you with your Japanese for free. You can check it out. If you want to learn Japanese with me, I have a bunch of Japanese courses, including polite, casual, and even written Japanese. You can check those out. I'll leave links in the description. So thank you for watching, and have a great day.